Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Dominion Gaming TV. My name is Wolf, and today I'm bringing to you another interview from ACL Brisbane. We're on Championship Sunday, and I'm joined by Exile.5's PiG. How are you, sir?
Good, man. Having a pretty good weekend down here in Brisbane.
Fair enough. So could you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you're raised, and your history in Starcraft 2?
Yeah, I'm from Sydney, born and bred. I lived in England for a little bit when I was a kid, but basically I've been playing RTS games since I was about eight or 9 years old with like Command & Conquer and Warcraft and stuff. So I guess it was when Starcraft 2 came out, I got really into competitive gaming. I never really knew much about it. I guess I vaguely knew about, there's pros in Warcraft 3 that you could download replays, or you could download a replay and then you'd download a separate audio file of a commentary, and that's how you'd watch eSports back in the day. So I think I only ever watched one game of that, as it wasn't exactly very appealing. But when StarCraft 2 came out, obviously we had GSL and everything, so kind of got pretty excited by that. Saw a little bit of Brood War as well, got really excited by that before StarCraft 2 came out. So yeah, I got kind of into it pretty hardcore, and by I think early 2011, I kind of was committing a lot of time to it, skipping a lot of classes at uni, and I kind of made the decision to try and make a career out of it. So went full-time coaching for a while, tried to kind of build up my skills and kind of catch up to the guys who had years and years of RTS experience. And I slowly did that, and kind of I still coach players and stuff, but it's more of a on-the-side thing now, and my focus is really trying to kind of break into the international scene, which hasn't gone so well just yet, but I guess my last big chance to make big waves overseas is just about to come up when I fly over to Europe.
So, Europe, what are you, how long are you over there for? 4 dream hacks or something? So tell us a little bit about that, and what you're looking forward to with that.
Yeah, it's going to be friggin' amazing. I had my first Dreamhack at Dreamhack Summer last year, so it was mind-blowing. I don't know, I think I remember the first time I went to a Bring Your Own Computer LAN here in Sydney, which was SGL, 600 people. They had, ping pong tables set up. They did a mini barcraft. There was competitions for every game. They were giving out tons of hardware and cash and stuff. And, I was blown away at that. So then to go to an event like Dreamhack Summer, where you've got 10,000 people setting up their computers, you've got absolutely craziness going on. The opening ceremony is a mini rave and stuff. So it's just so cool. And then to have basically the best competitions in every game around. So just the atmosphere of that event, getting to go there was awesome. Then the fact that they actually love StarCraft a lot, and they put a lot into the production of it. I think they were the first guys who kind of pioneered stepping up the production of StarCraft 2 events outside of GSL and BlizzCon and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think Dreamhack's just an amazing event to play at. They treat the players well. Sweden's an awesome country, and this is a unique opportunity this year because I'm actually going to be staying in Europe, living in the MYI house in Switzerland for quite a period, staying in London for a little while, going to Dreamhack Valencia as well, Dreamhack Stockholm after Dreamhack Summer. Hopefully there'll be some Asus Rogue events, maybe some Home Story Cups. So it's going to be a really, really exciting 3 or 4 months.
Fair enough. So let's bring everything back to home for a moment here. ACL Brisbane, you had to qualify through the online round. Who were your opponents to get through? It was the top 4 of each of the, or something, top 5 or something of each of the online rounds?
It was actually just based on points, so it was cumulative across the qualifiers, where I did pretty well in them. I came second in one, where I forfeited the spot because the lower bracket takes 5 hours to catch up, and I was playing from an internet cafe. I couldn't just wait there all day. And the other one, I think I got something like top 4 or 5 or something. So I think the highest seed going into the event. But yeah, the online round, it's relatively chill for me because not everyone's playing in each one. Generally speaking, it's pretty easy because it's double elimination for me to get through and get the good points I need. So, and it's always nice to come in with a high seed. I got a pretty good group. I did 10-0 it. So now going into the final stage, it's actually kind of now's the hard stage, the second day of the event. That's where it really kicks in. And we're actually really unlucky with the bracket. We've got 3 Exile.5 players in one side of the bracket. So NXZ's going to run into King Kong, I believe, and then the winner of that has to play me straight away in the semis. So we're only going to have 1 Exile.5 player in the finals, as it's not double elimination. That kind of sucks. So yeah, I think King Kong was always the guy that I'm watching out for. Aigars and Petraeus are overseas. So realistically, I think me and King Kong are a step ahead of the rest of the competition. So it's going to come down to who wins out of us two is almost definitely going to take it.
Fair enough. So you've been in the Australian scene for so long, since 2011, like you said. How has esports evolved in Southeast Asia?
It's really interesting because, I mean, I wasn't around for the old days of Counter-Strike and everything like that. Obviously, Warcraft 3 was around quite a bit, but streaming has obviously made everything a lot bigger. I mean, if I think about how much I played games growing up, how much I hung out at internet cafes, playing Warcraft and Dota and all sorts of games, and the fact that I knew nothing about esports, it kind of goes to show, like, hey, there's this big, like, kind of LAN gaming revolution, and esports never really, it never had the same exposure because it couldn't get into mainstream media. Even though people were going to LAN cafes and playing games, they weren't going on forums, reading things on the internet, not in large numbers. So nowadays, you get linked something on Facebook or Twitter or wherever, and instantly you've got a live stream of a game that kind of shows you what it's all about. It's just so much easier for people to get into it. So we've seen that with Starcraft 2. It kind of came out and it was the big title with a lot of hype, which also coincided with suddenly everyone can stream from their house. Tournaments are actually sustainable in terms of things like IEM events, Dreamhack events. And the fact that there's kind of sustainable circuits and that we've got ACL down here, it's kind of grown at a reasonable rate. I think people here like to say, oh, it's so small. Some people like to say it's hopeless trying to organize big events here, but if you actually look overseas, sure, there's some big events in America and some big events in Europe, but most of the countries have absolutely no esports scene. And because Australia is such a sporting nation, we love competing, and a lot of us live in isolated regions or just love games because we love gaming. It's kind of developed into this system where we actually have a strong esports scene. We've got ACL, we've got quite a few teams, we've got pretty good sponsorships going on, and something which is starting to really grow now, especially with Riot kind of jumping in and hosting all their LoL events.
Fair enough. After interviewing some of your opponents coming up into the championship bracket, all of them have unanimously said King Kong and Pig. They don't want to face you in the bracket. Being such a feared opponent, how do you feel about that, being like one of the top dogs? Do you just like do you feel like you should just like go easy, or just play your best all the time, of course?
Definitely, you just got to play to win, of course. I remember when I was a little bit newer to competitive gaming, like sometimes you'd play someone who's like just way leagues below you, and you'd feel like bad to just go all out and demolish them. But realistically, it's disrespectful to your opponent if you don't play your best. So you've kind of got to have the mindset of just always play your best at every moment. It's funny actually, because even in a lot of sports, there's players who excel in certain positions. I've recently been following a lot of tennis and watching Wawrinka play a lot, who recently won the Australian Open. And something we've noticed with him is something I could draw parallels to, was whenever he's the underdog, he plays absolutely spectacular tennis. But as soon as he's actually expected to win, we see a lot of confidence issues in his play and a lot of dropping in play. And I see that quite a bit in Starcraft players as well. So it's something I really work on. It doesn't matter who I'm playing against, whether they're better than me or worse. Just try to do my best and try to kill them as quickly as possible, basically.
What are your final words? Sorry.
Yeah, just wanted to say a big shout out to my sponsors and obviously all the fans that make esports happen. I know Dota's really big right now, LoL's really big, but the great thing about Starcraft is that we have a tight-knit community of people that continue to support the game, that continue to play the game. So even though, there's always people that kind of follow the esports hype train around and say, this game's popular now, there's no point in playing that game because there's not hype around it. There's actually a really awesome core of people still playing, especially in Sydney. The collegiate scene's really starting to grow more than ever. So I'm really looking forward to, it's a shame ACL Sydney, I'm looking forward to watching it because I'm going to be in Europe, because I'm sure it's going to be a massive event. And we should see some up-and-comers actually take, second, third, fourth place, because I think King Kong's going to be the only really established, absolute top-level player there.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for the interview, and thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
All the best.
Good interview, man.
Good.